You see AI doing just incredible things every single day. But what's going on behind the scenes? What does it really take to make sure these powerful models are safe and reliable for the real world? Well, today, we're diving deep into that unseen world of LLM evaluation, the art and science of taming AI. I mean, crazy pants. That's how one AI developer advocate puts it. And honestly, it just perfectly captures the messy, creative, and super high-stakes process that pretty much every company building with AI is wrestling with right now. So, what is this production problem anyway? Well, think of it as the chaos that can break loose when you let a powerful, kind of unpredictable technology out into the world without any guardrails. Let's break down exactly what that chaos looks like. Yeah, without some serious testing, the risks are not just little technical glitches, they're huge. You're talking about major legal headaches, your brand getting trashed because of biased outputs, and your costs just blowing up. And that's before we even get to the model just making up crazy stuff or giving you advice based on info that's totally out of date. These are the nightmares that keep developers up at night. So get this. Take the famous glue-on pizza incident. An AI tool was scraping the web, and it found a joke on Reddit. And it completely failed to get the sarcasm. So what did it do? It presented it as a serious cooking tip. It's hilarious, sure, but it's also a terrifying look at how fast your credibility can just poof, disappear when a model can't tell a joke from a fact. Okay, so how do you even begin to wrangle all that chaos? Well, you fight it with a bit of discipline. To bring some order to these systems, you really need two key tools in your toolbox: evaluation and benchmarking. First up, you've got evaluation. The best way to think about this is like taking your AI for a full head-to-toe physical. You're not just looking at one part, you're checking everything to see how the whole system works together as one. And then you've got benchmarking. Now, if evaluation is that full physical, benchmarking is more like a standardized test. It's a specific controlled exam where you give a bunch of different models the exact same questions just to see which one does better. It's all about comparing apples to apples. All right, so let's put these side by side because this is super important. Evaluation is the big picture checkup. It's asking, is this whole system healthy, safe, and actually good? Benchmarking, on the other hand, is that narrow, specific race. It just wants to know, on this one task, which model is better or faster. You absolutely need both to build something you can trust in the real world. To really get how these tests all fit together, we need a simple way to think about it. And for that, we're going to use a pyramid. And just like any pyramid, you have to start with a solid foundation. For us, that foundation is performance. Now, here's our evaluation pyramid. And you have to think about this as something you build from the bottom up. Right at the very base, holding everything up else, you've got raw system performance. Once that is rock solid, you can build the next layer on top, making sure the model's answers are accurate and formatted correctly. And only then, once all that is in place, can you get to the very peak, the really tricky tests for safety and bias. So why is performance the absolute base of our pyramid? Well, this quote just nails it, and it's not shy about it. You could have the smartest, most brilliant AI in the entire world, but if it's too slow or too expensive to run, who cares? It's useless. You're kind of screwed from the very beginning. And look, performance at scale is no joke. We're not talking about one person getting a quick answer. Imagine thousands, maybe tens of thousands of people hitting your app all at once. The system has to handle that without crashing. It has to stay fast for every user, and you have to manage the insane costs of running all those GPUs. This is the bedrock. If you don't have this, you don't have a product. Okay, so we've poured the concrete. Our performance foundation is solid. Now we can start climbing the pyramid. Now we need to make sure that our fast, efficient model is also accurate and safe. And this is where things get really, really tricky. These models, they learn from us, right? They learn from the data we feed them. And let's be honest, the internet is just swimming in human bias. So early models learn to associate doctor with men and nurse with women, just because that's what the data reflected. If you don't test for the stuff specifically, your AI doesn't just reflect our biases, it screams them. And now there's this other really weird, almost sci-fi problem popping up. It's called model autophagy. It literally means the model is eating itself. See, new AI models are being trained on data that was created by older AI models. And the fear is that the whole AI ecosystem starts to drift away from reality, getting less precise in this weird, endless feedback loop. So, with all these crazy, complex problems, hidden biases, models eating themselves, how do you even start to put up guardrails? How do you test for things that are so much more subtle than just raw speed? Well, you do it by layering on a whole bunch of more sophisticated tests. We use these big academic benchmarks like MLU, think of it like a giant Trivial Pursuit game for AI, to check for factual accuracy. We build safety guardrails to physically block harmful stuff. We check that the formatting is right, like does it actually produce valid JSON so other programs can understand it. And most importantly, you have to design custom tests that are laser-focused on what your specific product needs to do. So, we've built our pyramid. We've tested every single layer. Our product is ready for the world. But this brings us to the final, and maybe the most important rule of AI evaluation. The test is never, ever over. This is a really fundamental shift in thinking. Evaluation is not a one-time checkbox you tick off before you launch. It is a continuous operational process that becomes a living, breathing part of the AI system itself. You know, the best analogy really comes from modern software engineering. It's like a CI/CD pipeline, but for AI. Think about it like an automated quality inspector on an assembly line that never, ever stops running. It's a continuous loop of testing and improving that's designed to catch new problems the second they show up in the real world.
Which leaves us with this one final kind of mind-bending question. If a production AI needs this constant cycle of testing and reinvention, can we ever really consider it finished? As these systems get woven deeper and deeper into our lives, the answer to that question is going to define our future with them. Thanks for joining this explainer.